1970s produced some of the greatest rock songs ever recorded, yet not every classic became a massive hit when it was released. Some stalled on the charts, others were overshadowed by bigger singles, or simply arrived at the wrong moment. Decades later, many of these songs are still played on classic rock radio and remain fan favorites. Today we're counting down 15 rock songs from the 70s that should have been much bigger hits. And by the end of the list, we'll get to a David Bowie classic, whose original chart performance still surprises people. Number 1. Sweet Emotion by Aerosmith. Today, Sweet Emotion feels like one of Aerosmith's biggest hits. The song helped define the band's sound with its unforgettable bass line, swaggering attitude, and explosive guitar work. Released in 1975 from Toys in the Attic, it became a cornerstone of classic rock radio and remains one of the band's most recognizable recordings. What surprises many listeners is that the song only reached number 36 on the Billboard Hot 100. Considering its reputation today, that chart peak feels remarkably low. As Aerosmith's popularity exploded later in the decade, the song grew into something much larger than its original chart performance. Its legacy ultimately proved far stronger than its commercial success. Number 2. Question by the Moody Blues. The Moody Blues built their reputation on ambitious songs that blended rock, orchestral influences, and thoughtful lyrics. Question may be the finest example of that approach. Released in 1970, the song combined an energetic acoustic opening with a reflective message that resonated with listeners around the world. The single became a major success in several countries, but in the United States it peaked at number 21. That's impressive, yet it feels surprisingly modest given the song's lasting reputation. Many fans consider it one of the band's defining recordings. More than 50 years later, its message and melody remain just as powerful, proving that some songs leave a much bigger mark than their chart position suggests. Number 3. Tequila Sunrise by Eagles. Before the Eagles became one of the biggest bands in music history, they were still building their audience. One of the strongest examples is Tequila Sunrise, a beautifully written song from their 1973 album Desperado. Its laid-back arrangement and vivid storytelling helped establish the style that would later make the band famous. Despite its quality, the single reached only number 64 on the Billboard Hot 100. That's difficult to believe when you consider how often the song is still played today. As the Eagles grew into superstars, listeners rediscovered Tequila Sunrise and elevated it into one of the most beloved songs in their catalog. Sometimes a song simply has to wait for the audience to catch up. Number 4. Iron Man by Black Sabbath. Few rock songs are more recognizable than Iron Man. Released in 1972, the song helped establish Black Sabbath as pioneers of heavy metal. Its crushing guitar riff and dark atmosphere influenced countless bands and became a blueprint for an entire genre. Yet despite its legendary status today, the song only reached number 52 on the Billboard Hot 100. At the time, heavy metal was still developing its audience and remained outside the mainstream. Over the years, however, Iron Man became one of the most important rock recordings of the decade. Its influence spread far beyond its original chart performance, turning it into a true classic. Number 5. Sail On, Sailor by the Beach Boys. By the early 70s, many people assumed the Beach Boys had already seen their best years. Then came Sail On, Sailor, featuring a powerful lead vocal from Blondie Chaplin. The song blended rock and soul influences into one of the strongest recordings of the band's later career. Critics praised the song, and many longtime fans consider it a hidden masterpiece. Yet it peaked at only number 79 on the Billboard Hot 100. For a song held in such high regard today, that chart performance feels almost impossible to believe. Over time, Sail On, Sailor developed a devoted following and became one of the most celebrated deep cuts in the Beach Boys catalog. Up next are songs that sounded like guaranteed hits but somehow never reached the audience they deserved. Number 6. Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo by Rick Derringer. Some songs become so embedded in classic rock culture that it's easy to assume they were massive hits. Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo is one of them. Released in 1973, the song delivered everything rock fans wanted: a memorable guitar riff, a powerful vocal performance, and enough energy to shake the walls of any arena. The track became Rick Derringer's signature recording and earned years of heavy radio airplay. Yet it peaked at only number 23 on the Billboard Hot 100. That's respectable, but far below what most listeners would guess today. Over time, the song's reputation continued to grow, transforming it from a modest hit into a genuine classic rock staple. The next song comes from a band that would eventually dominate radio in the early 80s. Number 7. Roll with the Changes by REO Speedwagon. Before REO Speedwagon became one of America's biggest rock bands, they spent years building a loyal audience through relentless touring. One of the songs that helped lay that foundation was Roll with the Changes, released in 1978 on the album You Can Tune a Piano But You Can't Tune a Fish. The song captured everything that made the band appealing. Strong piano work, a soaring chorus, and Kevin Cronin's emotional vocals combined to create a record that sounded destined for major success. Surprisingly, the song only reached number 58 on the Billboard Hot 100. As REO Speedwagon's popularity exploded a few years later, Roll with the Changes became one of the band's most beloved concert staples. Today, many fans rank it among their greatest songs, making its original chart performance seem surprisingly modest. The next entry is a perfect example of a song that felt much bigger than its chart position. Number 8. Couldn't Get It Right by Climax Blues Band. The Climax Blues Band spent years developing a sound that blended rock, blues, and pop influences. Their biggest breakthrough came with Couldn't Get It Right, a song built around a smooth groove and an instantly recognizable hook. Released in 1976, the single became the band's only major American hit and reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100. While that may sound impressive, its legacy eventually became much larger than its chart run. Unlike many songs that reached similar chart positions, This one remained a fixture on classic rock playlists for decades. What makes the song special is its effortless feel. It sounds timeless rather than tied to a specific era. That's one reason listeners continue discovering it long after the band's commercial peak faded from memory. Coming up next is a song that many people recognize immediately, even if they don't remember the artist. Number 9. Driver's Seat by Sniffin' the Tears. Driver's Seat has one of those rare openings that instantly grabs your attention. Released in 1978, the song blended rock, new wave, and atmospheric production into a sound that felt fresh and distinctive.
What can I do? What can I do? I'll never remember my time with you.
The single became a moderate international success and reached number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100. Yet many listeners assume it was a much bigger hit because it never completely disappeared. Decades of radio play, film appearances, and television placements helped keep the song alive long after its original chart run ended. Unlike many one-hit wonders, Driver's Seat developed a reputation that far exceeded its commercial success. Today, it remains one of the most recognizable songs of the late 70s, and a perfect example of a record whose legacy grew larger with time. Before we move into the top 10, let us know in the comments which song on this list has surprised you the most so far. Number 10. Starry Eyes by The Records.
I don't wanna argue. I ain't gonna budge.
Power pop produced some of the greatest hidden gems of the 70s, and few are more deserving of recognition than Starry Eyes. Released in 1979 by The Records, the song combined sharp songwriting, infectious melodies, and enough hooks to rival many of the era's biggest hits. Critics loved the record, and musicians frequently cite it as one of the finest examples of power pop. Yet commercial success never followed. The song failed to become a major chart hit despite sounding perfectly suited for radio. That failure had little effect on its long-term reputation. Over the years, Starry Eyes became a cult favorite among rock fans and songwriters who appreciated its craftsmanship. Many listeners discovering it today are stunned that a song this catchy never became a mainstream smash. That's exactly why it earns a place on this countdown. The next 5 songs include a future classic from Dire Straits, a Todd Rundgren favorite that deserved even more attention, and a Roxy Music hit whose influence became far greater than its chart performance. Number 11. Go All the Way by The Raspberries. Long before power pop became a recognized genre, the Raspberries were helping define it. Their breakthrough single, Go All the Way, arrived in 1972 with massive hooks, layered harmonies, and enough energy to compete with any rock record on the radio. The song reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, which sounds like a major success. Yet considering its influence, many music historians believe it deserved an even larger legacy during its original release. The record helped inspire future artists ranging from power pop bands to arena rock acts that emerged in later decades. What makes the song remarkable is how modern it still sounds. More than 50 years later, its combination of melody and power remains irresistible. While the Raspberries never achieved the long-term commercial success of some contemporaries, Go All the Way proved they were every bit as talented as the biggest bands of the era. The next entry comes from one of the most respected singer-songwriters of the decade.
I've thought about us for a long, long time.
Number 12. Hello, It's Me by Todd Rundgren. Todd Rundgren built a reputation as a songwriter, producer, and musical innovator. Yet despite his immense talent, he never became the superstar many expected. One of the strongest examples is Hello, It's Me.
There's something here doesn't last too long.
Originally recorded with his band Nas before being reworked for his solo career, the song showcased Rundgren's gift for combining emotional honesty with memorable melodies. Released in 1973, the single reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became his biggest hit. Yet its long-term reputation grew far beyond that achievement. Many listeners consider it one of the most beautifully written songs of the decade. The arrangement remains elegant, the lyrics remain relatable, and the performance remains heartfelt. In many ways, it feels like the kind of song that should have made Rundgren a much bigger mainstream star than he ultimately became. Coming up next is a song that helped define sophisticated rock music in the middle of the decade. Number 13, Love is the Drug by Roxy Music. Roxy Music always seemed slightly ahead of their time. Their blend of art rock, glam influences, and sophisticated songwriting made them one of the most distinctive bands of the 70s. Love is the Drug may be their finest commercial moment. Released in 1975, the song combined a driving bass line, stylish production, and Bryan Ferry's unmistakable vocal delivery. It became the band's biggest American hit, reaching number 30 on the Billboard Hot 100. Yet considering its influence, that chart peak feels surprisingly modest. The song's sound would help shape future new wave and alternative artists throughout the late 70s and 80s. Today, Love is the Drug is widely recognized as one of the defining recordings in Roxy Music's catalog. Its impact ultimately became much larger than its original chart success. Number 14, Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. Most bands would dream of releasing a debut single as strong as Sultans of Swing. The song introduced the world to Mark Knopfler's distinctive guitar style and showcased a level of musicianship that immediately separated Dire Straits from many of their contemporaries. Released in 1978, the song eventually reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. While that was certainly a success, its reputation would grow far beyond that achievement. Today, many people consider it one of the greatest guitar-driven rock songs ever recorded. Part of its appeal comes from its authenticity. The lyrics tell the story of an overlooked pub band, while the performance itself feels effortless and genuine. Decades later, the song remains a staple of classic rock radio and one of the defining recordings of the entire decade. Few debut singles have aged this well, and that brings us to the final song on our countdown. A classic that many people assume was a major hit, but actually performed far below expectations.
Never caught a glimpse of how the other
Number 15, Changes by David Bowie. David Bowie spent much of his career reinventing himself and influencing entire generations of musicians. Among his most celebrated recordings is Changes, a song that perfectly captures his creativity, ambition, and willingness to challenge expectations.
change the size, but never leave the stream.
Released in 1972, the song featured one of Bowie's most memorable melodies and became a defining statement of artistic transformation. Today, it is considered one of his signature recordings and appears on countless greatest songs lists. That's why its original chart performance is so surprising. In the United States, Changes peaked at only number 66 on the Billboard Hot 100. For a song so closely associated with one of rock's greatest artists, that number feels almost impossible to believe. Yet perhaps that's what makes the song the perfect ending for this countdown. It reminds us that chart success and cultural impact are not always the same thing. While the single never became a major hit, its influence proved immeasurable. More than 50 years later, Changes remains one of the most celebrated songs in rock history.
But still the days seem the same, just the same, quite the same.
And that's our countdown of 15 rock songs from the 1970s that should have been much bigger hits. Some were overlooked during their original release. Others built their reputation slowly through radio play and word of mouth. Yet every song on this list ultimately outgrew its chart performance and became part of rock history. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the countdown, don't forget to like, subscribe to Retro Rewind, and join us for the next trip back through music history.
When you're on the street, you got to be able to pick out the easy meat.